Hello guys, first of all I welcome you all on this online platform where we are going to learn our whole subject in this way, like with this online teaching platform. So as we all know that I am going to teach you animal tissue culture topic. On your screen I guess you are watching the syllabus, animal tissue culture syllabus. So I'm here to show you the syllabus. If you see the animal tissue culture syllabus, so we'll complete this lecture by introducing our syllabus, what exactly we are going to learn throughout our lectures. So this is the B part of our tissue culture syllabus, and if you see the introduction, in the first module there are about 8 modules are there that we are going to learn. Within that 8 module, the first module is introduction, comparison with the bacterial culture. So animal tissue culture is the complete different kinds of culture system. It needs specific kinds of laboratory equipments and expertise also. So we are going to compare them in the introductory part with the bacterial culture, how exactly bacteria is been cultured and how microorganisms we are culturing them in the petri dish. You all know that, you have done microbiology basic course. Then in the second part, in vivo versus in vitro growth condition for cells of multicellular organism. So in the multicellular organism, so if you see these in vivo and in vitro growth, in vivo means in the animal or inside the living organism, and in vitro means inside the laboratory. So in vitro we are culturing these animal cells apart from in vivo. So what different growth conditions are necessary in the organism or in the body is itself, and what is the difference in between in vitro, that means are we giving, what kind of nutrition we are giving in vitro to grow them. So these kinds of study that we are going to see in this subtopic. Then the next topic is concept of monolayer suspension, histotypic culture, and what do we call the histotypic culture, then the organotypic culture, organ culture. So these are different terms that we are going to learn in our throughout in our animal tissue culture, and you need to remember this term because these terms are very important. The next one is the maintenance of aseptic condition. So this is the one of the very much important topic in our whole animal tissue culture subject. So if you see aseptic condition, there are like different terms that we generally pronounce, like sterile condition, aseptic conditions, then the disinfectants, sterile agents. So this aseptic condition means removal of each and every contamination out of the laboratory, because a single particle who bears the single virus or spores from fungus or the bacterial species, that is going to contaminate our animal tissue culture or animal cells, and that will ultimately leads to failure of our whole experimentation or what process generally we conduct in the laboratory. So this is the aseptic condition. We'll see in details what different things comes under aseptic condition. Then the next module is about equipments and infrastructure. So in the equipments and infrastructure, of course, as I told you that the laboratory is completely different for our animal tissue culture. The laboratory is completely different. So for that laboratory, different equipments are necessary, then different infrastructure is necessary. So we are going to learn what is the different design, what kind of different designs is necessary in the laboratory, the doorways, whether they are opening towards outside or towards inside, what is about the air condition which we are going to maintain in the animal tissue culture, then the where should be the washroom or the washing utensils, equipments, where should be the autoclave, free refrigerators, and everything should be there. Not just like randomly we are keeping different laboratory instruments in random ways, but we need to keep them in a proper design where it should be approachable and it should be away from any other contaminating zone. The next thing is the instrument used in ATC. Again, we'll see in details in our next upcoming lectures. Then lab wares, like what kind of plastic wares or what kind of different things that we are going to use in the laboratory or in the animal cell culture. The third module is nutrition and physiology. So nutrition and physiology is again very much important, because what kind of conditions that we are giving to animal cells to grow them in the laboratory, because you all know that every organism possesses a particular connective tissue, and that connective tissue somewhere, like we humans, we have a blood. So blood have a nutrition, so that nutrition should go or should reach towards each and every cells of our body, and that is the actual function of our blood. The oxygen supply should be proper, the glucose concentration or carbohydrate supply should be proper, protein supply should be proper. So likewise, if we are growing cells in the laboratory, then we should know the proper amount of nutrition, proper amount of these different nutritional components. And so according to that, according to each and every cell lines, different cell types, there are different nutritional conditions are there. So we are going to learn these nutrition and physiology within that module. Subtopic is like rationale behind media formulation, advantages and disadvantages of serum and serum free media, and balance salt solutions. So if you see the serum containing media and serum free media, so as you all know that currently you are in TY BSc, so you might know what is meant by plasma, what is meant by blood and serum. So we'll see that. So we are not going to use human serum for our animal tissue culture work or experimentation, because human serum is too much costly, and we are using human serum in only clinical purposes, like where we are growing some cells, animal cell lines, for a particular pharmaceutical purpose or for some economical purpose, where we are observing particular outcome out of the cells, whether they are producing particular antibodies or not, or so for that purpose we need a very specific media and the exact mimic condition of human body. So on that scale only we can use human serum. Otherwise we are using bovine serum albumin, horse serum albumin, or different animals that we are growing them in the laboratory, and we are collecting serum out of their bloods, and we are using them in a normal way, in the normal purpose, to study cell line, to study cell types, physiology and everything. There is again another kind of media that called it as serum free media, where we are going to see a completely media which is prepared without serum. So that's what we called it as serum free media, and we'll see that in detail, because serum free media is again very a special media. Many laboratory and routinely we are using different serum free media for to culture different types of cell lines. Then the next one is a balanced salt solution. It's like a buffer. So we know that what is the buffer. We are using this balanced salt solution in a animal tissue culture techniques or animal tissue culture practices as a buffer, because animal cells are very what do we call, they are immediately get disturbed because of any sudden change in the atmosphere, any sudden change in the environment. If a little 2 degree gets changed, 2 degrees Celsius gets changed, the cell immediately die, or they produce some sort of acidic some sort of substances out of their cells, and they are going to lead the increase in pH, and ultimately cells disturbs, the cell membrane disturbs and everything. So pH, temperature, the concentration of salts, These are all things comes under balance solution, where we are when we are. Now in the fourth module, in the primary cell culture, the sources, selection, different methods of establishing the primary cell culture, special reference to fibroblast culture and the lymphocyte culture. So in the primary cell culture, we know the primary means the first culture, a first cell line culture. So we'll see that what is the primary cell culture in the detail in our upcoming lectures, and there what are different sources, from where exactly we are getting these primary cells, from where, whether we are surgically extracting these cells, or whether we are cut with the help of cutting particular tissue out of the body, like biopsy or taps, that generally medical expertise or physical practitioners they do. Then the next module is the cell line. So cell line is again very much important, because the whatever primary cell culture we do, we are going to cultivate them, we are going to grow them, maintain them, and these cells are going to ultimately become a cell lines. So there are like different types of cell lines are there, like primary cell lines is one of the cell line. Then the major type is finite and infinite cell lines. Infinite again transform, infinite means transform only. So finite and transform cell lines, the finite means the age of the cells is a finite, because you all know that we are mortals, we are not immortals, because each and every cells in our body ultimately at some particular age the cell is going to die. Every day we lost millions, billions of cells out of our body, from our body, and we again gained same amount of cells, because the cells grow and maintain themselves, and they kill themselves also at their end of the age. So these cells particularly we call finite one, but there are other type of cell lines are also there, cells are also there, we called it as transformed one or infinite one. So these transformed cell lines are basically again different, two types are there, we are going to see these in our lectures. Then the mammalian and insect cell lines, these are very much important for different types of uh, experimentation or the projects that is going on in the cell sciences laboratories, different national laboratories, international laboratories, where they see the effect of different antibiotics, the effect of different drugs, manufactured drugs, newly drugs. First of all, they see on what is the bad impact or what is the effect of these drugs on the mammalian cells, or the cells where this pathogen is making an attachment. So these kinds of different study we generally do with these different mammalian cells and insect cell line. Then the subculturing is there, it's a big term again. Subculturing means the propagation of cells from one class to another class, and that's what we call it as subculturing, and we'll see that subculture in detail afterwards. Sixth module is about characterization of cell line. So whatever cells that we are maintaining and we are growing in the laboratory, that should be identified properly, and we should know what kind of cells are there in our flask, what we are growing, and what is the capability, what is the exact characters of these cells. Because characterization means which cells, the cells, specific cells which is growing inside the flask, suppose some nutritional factors changes, or might be in the experimentation you are changing some nutritional values which we are providing to cell lines. So of course there would be an impact on cells in the future, the prognosis is completely different, and that we are going to check with the help of different characterization methodologies. Like this is the need for characterization, we need to understand which cells we are growing and what is the property of that cells. Because see, we are daily we need food, and we eat daily a different types of foods. Like suppose today I am eating some other kinds of vegetable, tomorrow I am not going to repeat that once until and unless I am getting the same one on the next day. So we are changing our nutritions every day. We don't use the same vegetables every day and every day and every day. Okay, that is all again based on our test and everything. But so our health is actually directly proportional to the nutrition that we are taking, and it imply it these all things is again, if we compare or if we relate these things to our animal cells, which is present in our flask, of course we are providing them the same nutrition. If we change a little bit factors, change a little bit glucose concentration or carbohydrate or protein, ultimately there would be change in their growth also. Somewhere they are developing more growth, and somewhere they are not developing, they are not producing particular amounts of cells. So this is what happens. We need to characterize, we need to check every time what is going on inside the flask. So there are different techniques: karyotyping, biochemical and genetic characterizations are there. These different techniques are there. The next thing is cell storage and distribution. Cell storage and distribution is again one of the important topic, because whatever cells we are culturing in the laboratory, that should be preserved properly in our laboratory, in the repository, because every time we don't know where we are getting the same cells or not in the market or in the organism, and whatever processing that we do on the cells, that could be a very long term process, and you are getting a single cell line out of this long term process or long term cultivating them. So for that purpose you need a cell repositories where you can drop the cells and you can use them whenever you want throughout your experimentation. There are two things are there, like cryopreservation is there and cell repositories are there. Cryopreservation is the methodology how we are uh, preserving these cells in the laboratory, and the cell repositories are different types of cell repositories are there for different types of cell lines, or different types of containers are there. We are going to see that in detail afterwards. Then next thing is that application of animal cell culture. So this is the again I guess in our lecture we are going to start with actual applications, and then you will come to know what are the applications and what we are doing actually in animal tissue culture. It's the last topic, but I think that it's the most important topic, because why we are learning animal tissue culture. So guys, today we see that this is the SARS coronavirus outbreak is there. You all know that it's a global pandemic right now, and we are all in the lockdown since like 3-4 months. Hope so you are very well, your health, you are maintaining your health, you are maintaining your health of your parents also. So do take care of your parents, and take healthy food. And as far as if you see the updates currently going on in the news, I mean I'm not saying that normal news like Ashtak and ABP, Maza, Roy, everything, but if you see the general and scientific news from PIB, like Press Information Bureau, you see that much more and very variety of different laboratories are right now working on vaccine preparation or different drugs preparation which can counter this coronavirus, and they are only and only using animal tissue culture techniques, guys, to understand drugs action, to understand vaccine impact in the clinical, after before the clinical trial they have done this animal tissue culture. So I hope so you are going to learn these subjects in perspective to this upcoming field, or what we are right now hearing outside. So again I'm welcoming you all, guys, because this is just an introductory part, and from the next lecture we will see one by one module in separate lectures. So thank you, take care, आणि आई वडिलांची काळजी घ्या.